Hello, welcome to our Supercard of Honor predictions. It's just me here for now. That might change in a little while. We'll see. I've got Dan fiddling around in the back end, reading to that what you will. I think he's going to be my IT guy throughout this because God knows I'm awful at it. So before we get going, let's have an intro.
Hello, yes, Dan Housen here. Very nice, very evil. Thank you for watching the Gimme A Hull Yeah podcast. And I hope everyone in Yorkshire and beyond is having a great day, Housen. Yes, enjoy it and love that Dan Housen.
That took ages to get going, Danhausen. What happened there? I was wondering. I thought we had a problem. Right. So, Supercard of Honor, WrestleMania weekend has officially begun. I'm really excited. I'm already drinking. Shock horror. Who saw that coming? So, what we're going to do, we've got about an hour until Dan and I do the main WrestleMania predictions. But again, we're not just a WWE channel. I know I could have fooled everyone, but what we want to do is just talk about the card. I'm going to make a couple of predictions, see what we think. So let's just get straight into it because we've got about an hour before we do the show of shows, the showcase of the Immortals. So Supercard of Honor. So it's happening tomorrow night on Friday night. We've got 7 matches down so far. There might be some surprises. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be like the same level as an AEW pay-per-view or anything like that, because ROH often isn't. But it's still the most AEW stuff we're going to get over WrestleMania weekend, excluding Collision and Rampage, if they're even running. So, in fact, it might be running up against Rampage, which is bizarre. But anyway, so before we jump into the card, there's a couple of belts and championships not actually on this card. So for starters, as far as I'm aware so far, the triple, the trios tag team champions aren't defending. Now, I believe that's not the Young Bucks, the Billy Gunn's kids, the Ass Boys, Bullet Club Gold and Jay White. So they're not on the card as far as we know, which I think is a bit strange. I mean, they spend a lot of time in AEW more than Ring of Honor, but I'm of the view that they should be on the card defending those belts, probably against the Acclaimed. It might be too early to do that, but the fact that they're not on the card is a bit weird to me. So I'm hoping by the time the pre-show rolls around or something happens to change that. But there's another title defense not on the card, which is quite disappointing, and there's no Wheeler Yuta on the card either. Now, I'm aware Wheeler Yuta is injured, so he can't make it. It's not his fault. But there's no pure championship defense on the card tonight, which is kind of frustrating because that's one of the main draws of Ring of Honor. We could have done with the pure title being on the line. And then, look, if you're too injured to defend it, then my attitude really is relinquish and put it on somebody who can. Or have a tournament, have a match for the vacant pure title. Danny Garcia, perhaps, versus somebody else. So I'm a bit disappointed that those 2 matches don't seem to be on the card yet. But who knows? They could swerve us, they could surprise us, and that'd be lovely. So I really, really hope they do. So let's get moving onto the main card. So the first match we've got here is Queen Aminata versus Billy Starks. So I don't know if you've been following this storyline. I have been. I think it's been pretty awesome. Now, Queen Aminata, she's been seen on AEW TV. She's a big deal. They're really kind of pushing her. She's been seen a lot on Ring of Honor, but not so much as Billy Starks. Billy Starks has had a long-running feud / friendship with Athena, the AEW Women's Champion. And, this is... Hang on a minute. Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. TV Championship. Sorry, I must be need glasses. I wondered what that was there. It's so small I couldn't see it. So this is the final match in the tournament for the brand new women's TV championship. Oh my god, it's right there in the middle between both women. I'm so tired. But yeah, so there we go. So it makes sense for these two people to be in this position. Queen Aminata is an up-and-comer, and Billy Starks has been involved in a lot of storylines with Athena. Billy Starks has been acting like more of a heel recently as well, where Queen Aminata is overwhelmingly a babyface. So this is a great match. The two right people in it. I think Billy Starks is winning this. That's just my view, because her holding that belt might make Athena a little bit jealous, a little bit threatened. But we'll see. Although Queen Aminata would still be a great champion, but I don't know if it's her time yet. I think the story with Billy Starks and Athena is the real story here. So my money is on Billy Starks winning this one. And Billy Starks, as far as I'm concerned, is going to be is one of the stars of tomorrow. But there we are. So that's what I think about the opening match. Nothing confirmed for the pre-show yet, from what I can see. One of these may end up on it, but there's only 7 matches confirmed so far. So my money's on there being more matches. That's just me. And, thank you for joining me, whoever's here. Thank you for joining. Waiting for some of our regulars as well. Looking forward to seeing them popping in. But yeah, right now, this will do. Thank you for joining me. I'm really looking forward to this pay-per-view. I look forward to this stuff like Ring of Honor just as much as Mania and everything else. For me, it really is WrestleMania weekend. It's about everybody. It's not just about WWE. It's about everybody who puts on a show for me. So, next match. Let's go. So then, this is going to be controversial. So Dalton Castle versus Johnny TV or John Morrison or John Hennigan or Johnny Impact or any of the names we've known him over the years versus Dalton Castle, who's a former Ring of Honor world champion in his own right. So this has been one of the major storylines in Ring of Honor, playing out over the TV for the past couple of months. I think Johnny nicked off, stole his boys, who awkwardly got released from the company the other day. So that puts a bit of a dark cloud over this match, in my opinion. Sorry, Tony Khan, it just does. And it also gets rid of the stakes. Like, there's no chance in the boys just popping back up and surprising Dalton. They've been killed off, eaten by a bear, according to Ring of Honor TV, which is utterly ridiculous. But I suppose Akira Tozawa once got eaten by a shark. So what are you going to do? But again, both guys are excellent wrestlers. Johnny has been winding up Dalton for weeks and weeks and weeks. The story is Dalton just wants to punch him in the face, and it looks like he's going to get his opportunity to do so at Supercard. Again, they've made this one really awkward. It's not a brilliant story. Dalton Castle is fantastic in his role. He's always really entertaining. He's excellent in the ring as well. Johnny's also very good at everything he does. So I've got faith in both guys to put on a good match. But the story is pretty diabolically bad. So I'm just hoping they put on a good match, because I don't really want to see any more of this feud, if I'm being honest. Let's move on. We might be finishing the stream quite early, this one today. Oh, right. So I'm not going to lie. So I really hope I don't butcher these names. Misfit's going to kill me. But so Mina Shirakawa, Micah May Sierra versus Saya Kamitani, Tam Nakano, and ATM. That's unfortunate. Anyway, but yeah, so like now these guys are all from Stardom, I believe. This is more of a showcase match. Again, I haven't got a huge amount of exposure to Stardom or essentially the women's division of New Japan. So this will be fun. I'm looking forward to watching this and learning a little bit more about these guys, because who knows, they could be the stars of tomorrow. So I'm going to go into this with an open mind. I think it's a bit of a strange match to have. It's not been really alluded to on Ring of Honor TV or even AEW, so I'm not quite sure what the purpose of this match is. I'm not going to lie, I don't know any of these 6 women, so I can't really give a solid prediction on who I think is going to win because I just don't know. So if Misfit was here, I'm sure he'd fill me in a little bit, but he's not. So I'm just going to toss a coin. I'm going to go for the team on the left. My left or your left? So there we are. I don't really know, but I'm looking forward to seeing it and learning a little bit more about these guys. And here we go. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this could be the main event. I mean, damn, it's Hikaru Shida, who's a multi-time AEW World Women's Champion. Has she held the TBS as well? I don't know. Then there's Athena, formerly known as Ember Moon in WWE. She has, her Eddie Kingston, but her first have been carrying Ring of Honor in this past year, just carrying it. She's been one of the best women's champions I've ever seen. Her on her own, in my opinion, has been better than the entire AEW women's roster in the past couple of years, mainly in terms of booking and things like that. Her story with Billy Starks has been the thing that's kept me watching the Ring of Honor, really, because stay tuned to WrestleSphere, folks. There is an article going up on, it's an op-ed, an opinion piece by me. You don't have to agree, but all about what Tony Khan needs to do with Ring of Honor to make it good again. Because the pay-per-views are always great wrestling shows, but the weekly TV is starting to feel like AEW Elevation Light, and that's not a compliment. Like, there's a lot wrong with it. There's a lot right with it too, but it's not too late for them to turn it around. But I'm not being funny, Tony Khan. If you want us to keep paying 10 quid a month, you're going to need to fix it. Sorry. But this alone is worth the price of admission for the pay-per-view or a Month of Honor Club. It really will be. These two are both great. Athena has pretty much battered everybody else on the card. So Hikaru Shida's had to come in and challenge her. So it's clearly building, I think, to Billy Starks and Athena again. It would be interesting if Billy Starks wins her belt and then Athena loses hers. That would be an interesting situation because then Billy Starks is the one holding the belt. The minion is the one holding the belt where the teacher's lost hers. So I'm kind of all for it. I want to see that. And as Dan quite rightly said here, join us again at 10 p.m. UK time. So in about 45 minutes for our WrestleMania 40 predictions. Dan, I still need to fill out that document that you posted there. I will do that in between this stream and the next one. I promise. But part of me wants to say Athena is retaining here, but I've talked myself into the story of Athena getting jealous of Billy Starks. And I do think Hikaru Shida could provide some much needed star power to Ring of Honor. Not that Athena's not a star in her own right, but it'd be nice for her to move on to that feud with Billy Starks and kind of stay there while Hikaru could do her own thing. Although I would miss Hikaru Shida in AEW because I am of the view that they really need to split the rosters between Ring of Honor and AEW, make each one their own products. I worry that if Hikaru Shida wins this belt, she'll flip-flop between the two, and we'll see her more in AEW than we will Ring of Honor, which we've seen with Eddie Kingston and other people, and it's when they do that, it just doesn't work. So, next up, right? So Kyle Fletcher is great, and I'm a big fan. And Lee Johnson has kind of struggled to make waves in AEW. He's the sort of guy we saw on AEW Dark a lot and Elevation a lot. He turned heel, and then that was forgotten about, if I'm not misremembering. So, but in recent weeks, they've been building Big Shotty Lee up to be a bigger deal on Ring of Honor TV. Not so much AEW. We've seen him a bit, but Ring of Honor's been pushing him quite strongly, where we haven't seen hide nor hair of Kyle Fletcher on Ring of Honor TV. We've seen him on AEW as a stooge for Don Callis and those guys, but again, this is more a symptom of Tony Khan's erotic booking, with him keeping all his toys over on AEW and not putting Ring of Honor belts on them because he wants them to get over, but then forgetting to book them on Ring of Honor. And that's a real problem. Like, I get Ring of Honor isn't going to be on the same level as AEW. It wasn't before he bought it. It never will be. But it really needs a bit more respect than that, in my view. It's great to see Kyle at the pay-per-view, but my money is on Kyle going back over to AEW, back to the Don Callis family, empty-handed, and that leading to some tension. And Big Shotty Lee to take this belt, the Ring of Honor World Television Championship, which Fletcher's not done much with. He's defended it a few times, but I want to see this belt on Ring of Honor TV, please, Tony Khan. It's the Ring of Honor TV Championship. Let's see it on bloody TV. Do you know what I mean? Like, AEW has enough belts now, more than enough. I would argue one or two too many. So we don't need to see the Ring of Honor belts on there unless it's a crossover, and it's a big deal that they are crossing over. That's just my opinion. No one needs to agree, but I will go into more detail in the article that we're putting on WrestleSphere soon. But I want Ring of Honor to take this belt back because this is where it belongs. Like, fair enough if we don't see the Ring of Honor World Champion on TV every week, and if they're the ones crossing over with AEW the most, like Eddie Kingston has done. But I do feel like the Ring of Honor belts have been buried recently because Kingston holding that belt with the other two has made it feel like an afterthought to the brand new AEW belt. Is it the Intercontinental one that they've just done that the company just didn't need? So I want to see more, because if we can separate Ring of Honor and AEW more competently, then it'll matter more when we see a crossover. Does that make sense? So that's just me. Shotty Lee for the win. Let's fix this thing. So Dan is saying with the other one, she's going to win. That would allow Athena to move to AEW full time. That's very true that they could do that. But I feel like she'll get lost in the shuffle on AEW, where in Ring of Honor, she's a bigger fish in a smaller pond. It makes her a big star. Lee Johnson reminds me of Darren Young. Yeah, solid hand, but never getting past mid-card. Yeah, potentially. Like, this belt is the mid-card belt he's going after. So we'll see. I do think this is what he needs, because I don't think Fletcher needs it. But we'll see. Johnny Wrestling is in. Hiya, Johnny. Edge's promo in AW last night. I love Edge, but that was embarrassing. I'm not going to lie, mate. I've not seen it yet. I'm probably going to watch it tomorrow morning before I go away, but we'll see. If not, I might watch it tomorrow night on my iPad. We'll see. Dan's asking Johnny if he's looking forward to Mania. He said, yeah, can't wait for WrestleMania this weekend. There's so much awesome wrestling happening this weekend. Dan's asking Johnny, are you going to join our predictions competition? Going live in 40 minutes. So come and watch the predictions and we'll let you know how to enter. Yep, do that. After this, come and join us here. That stream's always going to be a bigger one than this one. But I have some loyalty to Ring of Honor. I thought this was important to do it because Gimme A Hull Yeah is more than just WWE. We are WWE, we are AEW, we are TNA, we are Ring of Honor, we are New Japan. We do as much as we can. And here we go. The main event, Eddie Kingston versus Mark Briscoe. Now, this has been great. The build to this is really, really good because Eddie Kingston loves Mark Briscoe. We even said to him in his promo on TV last week, Chicken, I love you. I'm doing this because you deserve it and you can take it. Eddie wants to retain here, but he's also 100%. He knows it makes sense for Mark has earned this spot and needs to be in this spot. So Kingston is giving his friend, his long-term ally, a shot at the belt because he deserves it. So this is two baby faces who are absolutely not afraid to get incredibly violent with each other because they know the other one can take it, and that's what is needed to win the belt. So this is actually really good. Babyface versus babyface isn't always compelling, but I think this is. In terms of who wins, now Kingston's run with this belt has been phenomenal. And with him just losing that other AEW belt he's had, because he's had 3 belts, he's still got the New Japan Strong one. So if he loses the Ring of Honor World Championship here, he does still have 1 belt. He's lost 2 of the 3 that he had. But it would free him up to go and spend more time on AEW and maybe New Japan, where for Mark, who again, we've seen more of an AEW than Ring of Honor, but for Mark, who's a Ring of Honor guy through and through, I think it is his time. and not just because of the death of Jay Briscoe, but I do think Mark is right when he says it's my destiny to win that belt. I think it is, and I think the time is now. It'd be a good babyface moment. So I'm really, really keen to see it. It would be a crowd pleaser. A lot of people will have tears in their eyes. I think I might as well. So yeah, let's see how it goes. I'm excited for this match. It's going to be a barn burner. Both men are fantastic. Part of me thinks Mark should win, but then again, I feel like Eddie's run has just been so good. I feel bad on him. So I don't know. It's good storytelling. It's caught me. So we'll see what happens. We really will. I'd love to know who you guys think is going to win. Who's going to, be the man who walks away with that belt. I'm excited to watch it, but I really don't know with that match. Just going to catch up on some of these comments as well. Tom Talks Rubbish is in. Hiya, Tom. Thank you for all the videos of me you're putting up at the moment. You're really putting me over on Twitter, mate. I appreciate it. Dan's saying, just two lovable guys, baby faces. Crowd will be happy with either winning. See, I think, thank you for fixing that, Dan. I noticed. I think it is Mark's time. If it isn't, they could make a storyline out of Mark being disappointed and needing to get there. So either way, this works for me, but I'm going to put my money on Mark on this occasion. Michael is in saying, hi, Sam, you're not watching Bloodsport right now? I'm not going to, mate, not right now. What I'm going to do is so here's my plan. I'm going to go away. Well, tonight I'm going to do this stream. Then I'm going to do the stream with Dan next in about half an hour, which means I can't really watch Bloodsport live, but that's fine. If I don't watch it tonight, but there's a couple of shows I want to watch. If I can't watch it tonight after our WrestleMania stream, or if I can't watch it tomorrow morning, I'll watch it either tomorrow night or Saturday night. So I will watch it, but I'm not really watching anything live this weekend. I'm pretty much watching everything on demand. But I promise you now, I'll be watching it, so no spoilers. How is Bloodsport? A good show so far. You can say if it's a good show, Michael, but don't tell me anything else. I didn't realise this was tomorrow. I thought it was Saturday. Dex, nice to see you again, mate. Yeah, this is tomorrow night, mate. So we've got Friday night. We've got Supercard and SmackDown, and Saturday we've got the first Mania show. So it's not running against Mania, this show. It's running against SmackDown. So we've got Andy Spores in Philly right now, representing Hull Yeah and representing WrestleSphere, which is Ace. He will be attending SmackDown. Like, if I was there, I'd be attending Supercard, 100%. I just would. But that's, but I'm a big Ring of Honor guy. Dex, legend, how are you doing? Dan saying, Tom Talks Rubbish, absolute legend, like the one on this stream. Hi, Dan. Really pretty good show so far. Another WWE wrestler is there. Oh, see, now I actually want the spoilers, Michael. But don't give it me. Don't give it me. Shayna Baszler is there. I know that one. We'll have to watch it ASAP. I'm not going to spoil it, who the other star is. I've got a good idea, Michael, because I did see it. I read something on the dirt sheets about it. So we'll see. Looking forward to it. That makes me want to watch it even more. But tonight we've got work to do. So we're going to do that. And this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I will spend watching wrestling wall to wall. Once I spent some time with my wife as well. Sassy is in. Hello, Sassy. I'm glad you're all here. We are going to have some fun at the next stream. This is just an hors d'oeuvre for that one, really. Michael saying hi to Sassy. Long time no see. Yeah, Dex, turn up more, mate. We need you, especially on SmackDown. Sassy says, sorry. Dan says, Sassy, we love you. We miss you on Mondays, but I know you're doing amazing work. That's right. But I don't mind if you just turn up to SmackDown, Sassy. That'd be great. You could be my manager instead of Dan's. Hi, Dapper Dan and Saucy Sam. Hello. Dex says, I think it was Final Battle 2020 that got me into Gimme A Hull Yeah. Wow, that was years ago. That's crazy. That's awesome. Sassy, go check my unboxing video from last night. Look at the poster I got. Yeah, he said Sassy was going to give it to me, is what he said. So we'll see. But yeah, I don't mind if you don't, Dan. Honestly, no pressure. If you want to stick that on the wall somewhere, you knock yourself out and do it. Moxley would want you to knock yourself out. Hi, Dex. Missed you. Mox crew in the house again. Was that myself and Dom covering that show, Dex? It probably was, Dan, because it was before my time, wasn't it? Me too, Dex. That was my first show. No way, Michael. God, the community's grown, hasn't it? Bloody hell. That's crazy. So, guys, we've been through the card. There is only one thing left to do. We wait for it. So, we will be back in half an hour with our WrestleMania predictions. So, thank you for joining me. We kept this one quite short, quite brief, but that's okay. Tom is saying, just sent you my big possible interview, which I'm really excited and nervous. We'll be asking for tips. Oh, wow. Dan, you demon. Guys, we'll see you in 30 minutes. As Dan said, we appreciate you spending your time with us, giving you love and support. Thank you very much. See you guys in a little bit. Yep, so let's see who's going to play us out. We had Danhausen play us in. Let's see who's going to play us out. Who do we fancy? It's got to be someone. Oh, come on. It has to be, doesn't it? It has to be. All right, I know he's not a Ring of Honor guy, but we're doing this. See you in half an hour.
God, I just listened to this Whole Yeah podcast. It was terrible. I feel like my ears are gonna bleed.
What'd you say? This is Darby Allen, and you're listening to Gimme A Hull Yeah podcast.